sure the audio is the way it needs to be. All right, and we are back. Live from Las Vegas, it's time for another edition of Bar Comedy USA News, Tuesday, October 21st, 9:53 a.m. Pacific Time. This is what's happening in bar comedy across the country. First of all, shout out to all the Pub and Grub Comedy Tour Road Warriors that were out there last week, bringing their A game to nightclubs, taverns, neighborhood restaurants, and bars located in the nooks and crannies of America, part of the Pub and Grub Comedy Tour, which, by the way, we have a lot more shows happening coming up. The tour dates will be updated soon at barcomictix.com. Last week we had David James Spaliaris goes to Methuen, Massachusetts. The opening act wasn't there, and he held down the whole thing. Did like a 80, 85 minute, 90 minute show, something like that. Anyway, the bar owner was happy. So shout out to David for going above and beyond. And then Derek Luna, Scott Putnam went to First and Last Roadhouse in North Vernon, Indiana. There's a little bit of mix-up because we had it confused in some weird, strange twist of fate or sudden script change. They were thinking it was Mount Vernon and not North Vernon. And I've made that mistake back in the day, driving 3 hours in the wrong direction because of a town confusion name. But they made it. They made it on time. They went to the right place. We got it cleared up. That's what it's all about. As far as coordinating the Pub and Grub Comedy Tour, is making sure that there are no disastrous problems that keep the show from happening. Rule number one, the show must go on. Which, by the way, shout out to Jenny Lou Rusi and Eric Oneacre up in Glasgow, Montana. Last week, Eric had a complete travel catastrophe happen, which really it's common, right? Where there are plane delays. You've been delayed, you've been rerouted, probably overcharged and underfed, and now somehow you're expected to be funny. You go through some of those flight delay situations and you got to get somewhere on time that day. It's like a test of emotional endurance. It's just going to be a smooth, quick flight. Grab a rental car, do the sound check, make the people laugh. You still have to be funny even though you stood barefoot in the TSA line holding up your pants with one hand. Your flight's delayed. Your gate changes 3 times. You're eating airport pretzels and drinking $9 bottle of water. And then by the time you roll into the venue, you're just running on fumes. I would sometimes still be mad from all that. And somehow that makes the show better. It makes the comedy better. It's like rage fuels humor. Anyway, it feels good when it's over. At the end of the day, the show must go on. And did it ever? So once again, shout out to Eric. Barely made it on time with all the flight delays and confusion that went on that day, and everybody stayed in touch. We came up with a backup plan where, if nothing else, maybe the opening act would have to become the headliner. And that's happened to me before as well, where I went the wrong direction to the wrong town. And then by the time I made it to the gig, I had to follow the headliner, who was a killer. And everybody knew that I was doing it because I was late and I wasn't as good. And I ate the big wheel of cheese. But they loved the show. So it turned out to be a great show. So thank you, Eric. And then also Dan West and Frank Roach in Racine, Wisconsin at Buckets Pub, second round. They had a sold-out show. Everybody loved it. And Derek Luna and Brian Atkinson went to Belleville, Michigan, did a show for the Belleville Yacht Club. It wasn't as fancy as it sounds. Derek texted me, I didn't bring my dickie. And I'm like, well, hopefully you brought your dinghy. All right, and then this week we got a lot of shows coming up. Oh, tonight, as a matter of fact. Charlottesville, Virginia, Three Notch Brewing Company, Steve Sabo, Scott Putnam. I'm going to be checking in with them here soon. And then this week we've also got Kaliki Javade and Ira Summer going to Parker, Colorado at the Wild Goose Saloon. Steve Sabo and Scott Putnam going to Marion, Ohio, the Marion Brewing Company. EJ Nonstop filling in as headliner with Brian Atkinson opening up at the CIR Grill, Colonial Heights, Virginia. Mike Marvell, Brady Gregorich going to Wisconsin Rapids. At Riders Roadhouse, Jake Hovis and Kevin Eggleston going to Evansville, Indiana at Roca Bar. Derek Luna, Val Werner heading to Portage, Wisconsin for the 1873 Bar and Grill. That's happening this weekend. Again, the website is below, barcomictix.com. Head on over there. The November dates will be posted soon. And that's what's happening in bar comedy across the country. Thanks for watching. Comment below where you're watching from. I'll let you know with a comment in return where the Pub and Grub Comedy Tour will be coming to a town near you soon. And we'll see you next time.